go back up top. Now I'm gonna Control F, Oakensoul. Oh, here we go. This set now grants minor versions of Courage, Berserk, Force, Protection, Heroism, Ramp. Okay, wait, minor versions of Courage, Berserk, Protection, no, Force, and Heroism. Y'all got Oakensoul gutted. The original intent, quoting here, of this set was to improve accessibility of 1-bar builds by providing many bonuses that you would get from running extra abilities on your back bar and a few other named sources that may come from coordinated groups to help make up for the flexibility and specialization lost with having 5 ability choice instead of 10. While we did see the suggestions we're incorporating now, we didn't want to go too hard on the set after the heavy nerfs to the original form without some more concrete metrics and evidence, which we have gathered since update 34 had launched. We now feel more comfortable that the set will still be incredibly impactful for a target audience, but in a much more balanced way. Okay, so I think this is actually a good change, just reading it off the rip here. So Major Courage, that's just overtuned. You shouldn't have Major Courage and what, 215 spell and weapon damage? That's fair. Minor Berserk, again, you're not gonna be having to slot Camo Hunter. I think that's fair. Major Force was way too over the top in PvP. Minor Force means that, well, all my 1-bar PvE builds need to be changed because I think you're not gonna be running Togmans on them now. So Minor Force instead of Major. This is the one that I do like a lot. I do like Major Protection. I feel that's great value for Oakensoul. I will be disappointed that Major Protection's not gonna be there. I feel very tanky using Oakensoul. But I understand that you can stack Major and Minor and a gazillion champion point modifiers and just be walking juggernauts. And Minor Heroism, this is a huge change for the Dragonites. I think you can get the Minor Heroism for potions anyways. So Oakensoul, I think this is a really good balance change. It also grants Minor Mending now, so that can make up for the loss of the protection here. So I think this is overall a pretty good, fair balance. It'll make a big difference in PvP. So what do we think? Still good to slot Blinding Flares. The problem is that if you slot Blinding Flares, you're losing a bar slot, which doesn't really fit in the whole Oakensoul thing. No, I would still use Oakensoul. The one that I can't stand is the Force, Major Force with the Nightblade. So I think this is good. What do we think about this for Oakensoul? Was this both for PvE and PvP? Yeah, I think this was both for PvE and PvP. So the intention for Oakensoul is what I gather it is for the average player to be able to do decent on a parse dummy, but to complete veteran content without, having to be a parse warrior and figure all these things out. So for who it's probably originally intended for, someone who struggles with Overland, can't do a bunch of bar swaps, and just wants to do the story and fart around the Elder Scrolls Online, this still hits the mark for them. Yeah, they're going to be a little bit less damage producing. Yes, they're going to have less ultimate. Yes, they're going to have less defensives, but not an enormous amount where you would really notice. Yes, this is going to affect the person that parses on a Stam Sork using crystal weapons, but for the average player that likes and loves Oakensoul and PvE, I don't think it's going to do much for you. Who it's intended for is the Calorian's Nightblade that one-shots you with a heavy attack from stealth and PvP. The Stam Sorks using crystal weapons and one-shotting you with Overload, because the crit damage is just so stinking high. Or for the Corrosive Dragonites in PvP that literally have 50% uptime on corrosive armor. This is who it's intended for. So good. I think this is a good, fair change where it's not going to completely gut Oakensoul. The only thing I'm disappointed is the Major Protection. I do like that for my tank and PvP builds. If you're the average player, I think you're not going to miss out on Oakensoul that much. It's still worth collecting and going forward. Keep in mind, this is on the public test server, so this is not final. This is just what has came out. Okay, Oakensoul, still pretty good, I think.